Okay, so if the SEC doesn't work and you show up on the job and the screen, the display doesn't want to shift, your PTO doesn't want to work electronically, this is the PLC. This is your first system to override that SEC screen. So typically with power, the engine running, you're gonna have three numbers here. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3. Then what you would do with the cab, the transmission in neutral, if it's a standard, somebody will have to depress the clutch, push the clutch all the way in. And then what you do is you come over here and you would hold this round dot gel switch, hold it in, and then this will activate this PLC and it'll go from 1, 2, 3, it'll switch over to a big red D telling you that you're in drive. Now, once you've done that, then you hold arrow down, you hold it down, and make sure you have enough air pressure. And then what it's gonna do, the PLC will automatically shift over the shifting fork in the PTO, and then arrow down will put you in a big red P, indicating that you're in pump mode. And it'll turn on the Vector 2 on this truck, and it'll tell the ECU that you're in PLC mode, overridden, and then that you wanna be in pump mode. And then you go and you put the transmission in gear, you select the gear that you need, whether it's standard or automatic. You do it the way you were shown. And once you finish, then you can pump the job like normal operation. Once you finish, you come back and you go in the cab, you put your transmission in neutral, and then if it's standard, you push the clutch in. And what you would do is hold the arrow up with enough air pressure. The PLC will select the fork to back towards for you to drive. It'll shut off the Vector 2, and it'll tell the ECU that you're gonna drive. Before you walk away though, hold the round button, and then that'll turn this off. Once the 1, 2, 3 populates back up, it'll shut this off and it'll tell the ECU that you're ready to drive away. You go back in the truck and you put it in gear and you go to the washout. Now, once you're in the washout, try the SEC screen again to see if it's going to work, reboot up and work properly. If it doesn't, then you would proceed to do this again. Now, if the PLC doesn't work, the SEC doesn't work for shifting processes on the job site, and the PLC doesn't work also, you have a third mode of shifting it from, this is called a maintenance key. This is a maintenance key switch here and LED indicator that it would be on. Like, let's say the operator goes out to the job and either work, the SEC or the PLC work. With the transmission in neutral, you would come out, engine running, you would come out, turn this key. This tells the ECU that you want to be in pump mode. This will electrically turn on the Vector 2, but you will have to go to the other side, and that air solenoid selector valve with the yellow tab actuators, you would turn the one for pump with the transmission in neutral, turn it to pump side, the hose, and it will shift the PTO fork forward. Once it's shifted, you put it back to neutral, then you go back in the cab, and then you put it in gear, pump out the job. Once you finish pumping the job, go back in the cab, put it back in neutral. Then you can go back over to the air solenoid selector valve, and with enough air pressure, you turn the lever for the drive. You turn it towards the hose, and that'll shift you over to drive. And then you put it back to neutral before you walk away from that valve. You come over here, and then you would just turn off the maintenance key this way, pull it out. It should not be in there because you could accidentally get bumped and it'll cause havoc. So once you pull it out, then you go back in the cab and drive it over to your washout.
Could we physically just show us step by step? So start here with the key on, and we'll go to the other side and show us how to switch those.
That would probably be good without voice then, huh? That way does a voice doesn't affect you. With the engine running, we would have to have the engine running for physical.
Yeah. Well, just even just to show us, how to change the levers over on the other side.
Oh, we need more air. So
okay.
Can we get the gauge on first, or
sure? Yeah.
Because it's not going to work right now.
Okay.
Because we barely had enough. We didn't have enough air to shift it to D a little while ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's. I think you brought me the gauge.